Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Thursday. I hope that you are all having an amazing day and that you are enjoying this week, right? We didn't get any snow, we didn't get any ice, we're just moving right along, and it is magical. So, I am really excited that this week has been going great for you and for myself. And this week we have been talking a little bit about dining, and we'll dive into that in just a second. But for those of you just joining, hi, welcome. We're so excited you're here. And my name is Julian Lever, and I am the owner of the Dapper Diplomat. And we here at the Dapper Diplomat work with individuals, companies, any kind of business in the areas of communication and networking improvement and personal brand, and how you can enhance your personal brand, what you can do to build on your personal brand. And this is Dapper Dossier. We do it pretty much every morning. I'm sorry, this morning is a little late. We were having some technical difficulties with our friends, the Facebook. But we're going to dive right in. And so, as we've been talking about dining this week, today we are going to continue that little roll that we have going on. And we're going to talk about dining tips to bring home to the family, right? So, in celebration of the kids going back to school, hooray! But most of you have already hooray because the kids went back to school a little bit a while ago. But we're just reading this blog. So let's shift our focus to etiquette that serves the whole family, right? Which is always good. Yes, there are many lessons that your child will learn in school, which is also really positive, right? But others are best learned at home. There are some skills that are just not taught at school. So don't forget to teach your kids these valuable lessons that translate from the dining room to the boardroom for when they are older, okay? So, number one, we're just going to talk about one tip today, and we'll go into others later in the year. But today's tip is about planning ahead, okay? Planning ahead. So in prior posts, I've touted the importance of planning out business dinners, right? We kind of talked about that a little bit yesterday. On Wednesday, we talked a little bit about business lunches, right? So intentionally selecting a restaurant, visiting that restaurant ahead of time, meeting with the hostess or the host in advance, right? Pre-selecting the appetizers all the way to tipping the valet before they depart. So the experience from one end of the process to the other end of the process is seamless and magical, and your guest or client doesn't have to worry about anything, right? So you plan ahead when you go to a business dinner or a lunch or any kind of activity that you're going to. So you can teach your children to also plan ahead by having to do something as simple as setting the table, right? Have them think through all the china, the glassware, the utensils needed to service the meal, right? And you can even play around with, they make these really great placemats that teach the kids how to set the table properly. And they just place it on there until they learn exactly how to set it every time, right? But if you do it every single day, I always say repetition strengthens and confirms. It's something that I learned from some very wise people, right? And so as they get older, you can take this step a step further, and you can have them help you cook, right? So just as a chef really needs to gather the mise en place to execute a beautiful dinner, your kids will learn to think through and plan for a successful outcome, right? So we're going to start by having them plan ahead, and they're going to learn it right there at the table. Then they're going to go into the kitchen and they're going to learn it with you, okay? And we were talking earlier with somebody, and they were saying, oh, yes, I have my kids do one night a week. Like my older kids, they're responsible for dinner, right? They cook dinner, they make it work, they do it all on their own. You're there, obviously, maybe just to like make sure the house doesn't burn down or they don't cut themselves horrifically. But overall, you're giving them this responsibility. And so here at the Dapper Diplomat, we work a lot with this younger generation in the workplace, right? This generation that is just having come out of college, and then the generation that's kind of coming up behind them that are coming into the workforce next. And what's interesting is that that generation is not as skilled as we would, quote unquote, like them to be in the areas of communication in the workplace, in the phone, in the email situation, in having a conversation, right? And it's not their fault that they are not this way, right? Because what are we as parents teaching them? We are taking them from place to place. They're maybe in a car. We're really trying to get them in these extracurricular activities to be able to give them a leg up, right? Like, as good parents, you want to be able to give your kids a leg up. But simultaneously, you're also a little bit handicapping them because they're not learning the crucial skills that were needed at the dining table. Okay? And that is really how you build this personal brand, because you don't want to have made it all the way through high school and then college maybe, and then you go into your first job and you don't know how to answer the phone properly because you really were never taught how to listen or how to have a conversation at the dining room table, right? Or you were not taught how to make eye contact or actively listen or how to paraphrase an email or write a letter, right? And so it's about these ideas of planning ahead. You can plant these seeds now so that they then grow and then become really nice, strong foundation for your kids later, okay? So it's about planning ahead, and I think this applies to us as well, right? If we plan ahead every single day, and you say, okay, I have this thing coming up, and I have this thing coming up, and I have this thing coming up, and I need to get all of these items situated, then you are 10 steps ahead of everyone else who didn't plan ahead and who's just running behind, kind of like I was this morning with the Facebook situation. So that's our lesson for today. Plan ahead, enjoy the process, and, help those kids to understand that dinner time is a sacred time, and maybe it only happens once a week, but giving out little duties throughout that process to teach them the right way to do things is hugely important. So if you want to learn more, you can follow along at dapperdiplomat.com, and you can go to the tab marked Dossier, and there's a wealth of information there for you to be able to keep learning ahead or learning on your own as well. You can also follow along here on Facebook at The Dapper Diplomat, on Instagram at Dapper Diplomat, and on YouTube at The Dapper Diplomat, where if you are watching right now, we'd love for you to subscribe. So I hope you have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow, which is Friday, which is so exciting. So have a wonderful day, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.